All right, guys, welcome back. Yet another week. I say this every time. I got to come up with a different intro. This is frustrating. All right, this is episode 220. This is your boy East Coast Trev, and I'm with my good buddy, Mr. Madman Sick Mardick.
Yeah, I'm still alive.
You doing all right, dude? Is the
I'm
rut getting the
hanging in
best of
there.
you? What's going on? Are you hanging?
Keeping
I heard about you hanging. Tell us about you hanging. I need to hear this. I'm going to start the podcast right off with it, dude. Tell me the
Fuck, we're just
story.
getting right after it today,
Yeah, we
huh?
have to, man. I think it's important.
Uh I well, I was just doing a gear review on the Latitude linesman rope to
Oh,
make sure it worked properly.
did it work properly?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What happened? Did
It
you like miss?
fell to a fucking tree is what I did.
Uh,
Ah, shit. Um, yeah.
would you just
So
just foot placement or?
no, I mean I'll tell you all the factors. Like they might sound like excuses, but they're 100% legit. So, and I feel like a retard even telling this, but it's true. So the first place I screwed up was I was at the wrong tree. Okay, I missed my tree by 37 yards.
Wow.
So what had happened was I had found this tree. Oh, I don't know exactly when. We'll call it like maybe a month ago.
Hmm.
I had moved a cell camera to like the interior of bedding for the rut, and there's like an exit trail coming out of bedding,
Yeah.
and I found this like perfect trail to hang the saddle or perfect tree to hang the saddle in on this exit trail coming out of bedding, and I put a couple cat eyes on it. I pinned it on my phone and got out of there. So when was this? Monday. Monday, I decided I was going to go to that tree. I had a good wind for it. Everything was right. So I'm heading up the hill to where this tree is. I see the two cat eyes. I'm at my tree. So I start setting up. Well, it was the wrong fucking tree. And what happened was last year I had I was hunting out of a lock on. I can't hunt Sundays on this piece of property. I had hung my lock on in the tree on a Sunday afternoon in the rain to come back and hunt it Monday morning. Well, I put two cat eyes on the trees to find it the next morning. Well, I found those cat
Oh.
eyes this Monday. And like I said, I'm only 37 yards off in the dark. I didn't realize. So anyway, so I'm in the wrong tree. That was my first mistake. The second thing that happened was I had it was really cold that morning, so I had busted out the heat boost bibs.
Mm-hmm.
So I put those on at the base of the tree. Not that they're bulky, but they're bulkier, right? Like they're the bulkiest of the Huntworth that I have. So now I'm climbing in those. And then what was the other factor there? Oh, my boots. I wore a different pair of boots that morning. I decided to try loggers, my Chippewa loggers with the big heel. And my thought, now hear me out. I'm rocking the X-wing right from Latitude. Love the platform. It's awesome. So my thought was, if I had a bigger heel on my boots, I could lock into that those wings with my
Mm-hmm.
heels, right? So whatever. Those are all my excuses. So anyways, I start climbing. Well, the tree that I'm climbing is a double trunk. So I'm climbing up the backside of the tree because that's where I want my sticks. And there's a branch, I don't know, maybe about 10 feet up, little branch, maybe like inch diameter. And I knew it was going to be a problem. Like I knew I had to get past this branch. No big deal. When I get to it, I'll just push it out of the way, clear the branch, and continue my climb. So I start my climb, hang my first two sticks from the ground. I'm getting up. So now I'm on my second stick. I'm hanging my third stick, and my backpack gets fetched up on that branch, and I'm stuck on it. Right. So I like kind of turned around to push the branch back away from me to like get it off my backpack, and the branch snaps, and I went from my third stick to my first stick in about 0.2 seconds.
It shotgunned you down there.
Just like a flash, bro. And I'm like
That's how it happens.
horizontal. Uh Thank God I'm rocking the Latitude carbon sticks because don't get me wrong, they fucked me up. Like you should see my shin. I have like a big knot on my shin, but I could not imagine if they were the metal sticks. because they probably would have
Cut you
impaled me,
up.
cut me up. So, yeah, so I'm laying there horizontal on top of my first stick. I'm like, God damn it, Jesus Christ. Like, are you kidding me right now? Then I got up, finished my climb, hung my platform, and hunted the rest of the morning. Like, I was fine. Like, it was scary. I can't believe I fell out of a tree. Never in a million years thought that would happen. But it can happen.
Dude,
And that's why I use a linesman rope,
that's
right?
why
Like,
you wear safety, because it could have been a whole different
yeah.
ball game, bro. It was crazy
And
because you texted me that morning. I was in the tree stand too, and you texted me and you're like, "Bro, what a bad morning." And you always like have in the back of your mind like, and I'm like, "Why? What's a bad? What?" I said, "Dude, it's still dark out. How could you have a bad morning?" You're like, "I fell out of the tree," and I'm thinking like, I gotta get out of the tree and I gotta go like, I'm trying to like piece all the things. I'm like, "Oh no, it's not good," and it's funny, but it's not funny. Is like you fell out of the tree that morning. The night before, I almost ripped my pinky off
I forgot about that.
trying to load totes in the back of the truck. So I went to bring all my gear down because all my stuff's in totes, and I have my hunting gear, my backpack, my everything in one thing. One of the totes slipped, dude, and it straight filleted my whole entire finger. I thought it broke my finger. I ended up going to ER the next day. My whole finger was black and blue. I'm like, jeez, and I had to climb. I had to climb with a freaking splint on my finger the next. Oh, it was miserable. But anyways,
Yeah. What
it
the
just sucks.
crazy thing is, man, is like, dude, I'm on vacation. I'm hunting every day right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am hanging and banging on every hunt. There's only been one hunt in the last 2 weeks that I went to a legit preset. Sticks and platforms already set up. I didn't have to do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm packing in sticks and platform every single morning in the dark, hanging. Um, Sometimes I'm doing all day sits, not always. Um, a couple times I've actually tore down, or a couple times I've actually left my stick and platform in, came out for like a quick lunch, went back to the same tree. But a lot of times I'm tearing down midday, packing out, packing back in, and hanging again in the afternoon. And then I'm tearing down again at the end of the day. So you're looking at, you know, setting up and tearing down at least once, if not twice a day for the last 2 weeks. I'm pretty fucking dialed in with my system right now, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the Latitude sticks are phenomenal. The hands down the best sticks I've ever owned in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with my platform, my set. Like I am in love with every single piece of gear that I'm running right now, and I am fucking dialed in. Like no headlamp, no nothing. I can get in and get up a tree effortlessly. And I still fell out of a fucking tree. So it just like goes to show you, like, I gave you a laundry list of excuses, right? The boots, the bibs, the wrong tree, whatever, whatever. But not to mention, I'm hunting every day. I'm tired, lack of sleep, lack of
Mm-hmm.
food. You get displacent. Like, you got to pay attention, man, because shit can happen. It's almost like one of those things like, the more you do it, you might pay attention less, right? You take it for granted. So you got to pay attention every day. You got to be careful because I'm lucky. I can laugh about it. I saw a shit ton of deer that day. I saw one of my shooter bucks that afternoon. Like I had a great hunt, but I almost didn't come out of the fucking woods.
It's we talk about it all the time, man. The safety, 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 safety.
Yeah,
Put the linesman
it,
on. Connect yourself when you're going to climb. Like you have to
always,
use this stuff.
always.
It could have been a different scenario, man. Like
Yeah,
it totally could have, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we wear what we wear. And
yeah,
also with climbing up all the time, you have your system down. You then tend, not saying that you were, but people get complacent and
yeah.
thinking and not having that fear of messing up because you're just so into the
Well,
routine
you know what
and
it's like? It's like the guy that always gets in a chainsaw accident. Who's that? It's the guy that runs a chainsaw every
every
day of his
day.
life. The
Mm-hmm.
homeowners don't do it because they're super careful because they're not comfortable with the chainsaw, right? But the guy that does it every day is the guy that stops paying attention. It's the same thing
Because you lose the
with
fear of it.
right. And another thing that I think is worth bringing up is, you know, everybody should make sure that somebody one, you should have somebody that's able to see your location of your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether it be a hunting
I
buddy
don't even
or
think Steve knows, but he can see my location on Snapchat.
right. No, well, that's what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, like, somebody should always be able to see your location on your phone, whether it be a hunting buddy or a loved one or whatever. And that person, like, should probably check in with that person, like, every hunt, right? Like, let them know when you're in the tree safely and when you're on the ground safely, because if you don't check in, they could start to worry. At least they know where you are. Make sure you can trust the person too. Like, you don't want somebody you can't trust knowing where you're hunting.
Well, that's the other thing. You gotta always make sure of that, because that's the number one most important thing there is.
But
Steve, do you have a killer's corner?
oh fuck, I am not prepared. Yeah, there's some out there, but dude, I'm a mess right now, man. I'm sick as a dog.
Hunting too hard.
Hunting really hard.
All right, listen. I'll go through the sponsors. You get your killer's corner ready. You ready?
Okay.
All right, first off, let's go with our title sponsor, Huntworth, huntworthgear.com. Guys, listen, I cannot stress it enough. The last day is today, Friday. I promise you, the 17th is the last day for the flash sale. And then it goes into the Black Friday sale. But right now, you can get a Matterhorn top and bottom for $279.
What?
The bottoms are originally $249. You can get the tops and bottoms right now on sale for
Dude,
$279.
have you worn your Matterhorn yet?
Yeah, I have.
I've only worn them one morning. Coincidentally, it was the morning I fell out of the tree, but that has nothing to do with it. They're they're freaking awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Like,
that's what I'm trying to say, and these things are rated up to -20. So make sure to use the promo code HUNT30CY on that one, so you can use that. That's a special promo code, and it's on sale right now on the flash sale. So that's not going to last for much longer, but those are probably the best bibs, hands down, and they're rated for
yeah,
up to -10. Warmth
and the
wise,
jacket too is awesome.
forget it. Latitude Outdoors. Make sure to use promo code on that one, Outdoor Drive. That'll save you 20% on anything across the board and in the store.
Mm.
You can get the carbon sticks, which are now in stock. The Rebel,
Dude,
the X-wing, you name it. It's all in stock back and shipping. If you buy it by 2 p.m., it'll ship the next day.
how
Check it out.
how do you like the sticks?
Oh, I love them. I've had them for a while. I love my sticks.
Yeah, they're gonna be hard to beat, I think.
They're definitely a good thing.
And they're pretty soft landing, just in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah.
So that. I don't think they factored that in when they designed them, but just they hit the nail on the head
It was
when
a
it comes to soft
good
landing.
design. Good design. Nor'easter Game Calls, nor'eastergamecalls.com. Make sure to get on over there. Mark actually just made more grunt tubes. So they should be up on the website in the next couple of days, but I did hear the low that there is more because we actually sold out. So also that and Bowhunters United, bowhuntersunited.com, the advocates for bow hunting. And all of us, it is a free website that you can get onto. It's bowhuntersunited.com. So make sure to get on over there and sign up. And while you're at it, make sure you hit the notification, subscribe button on YouTube for us, and also on any platform. Make sure to give us a 5-star review. You got it? Killer's Corner?
I'm ready.
All right, let's
Kinda.
go. Rip it up.
Alexandra Fagan still killing it on the trap line.
Pregnant,
She's
bro. Pregnant.
she's a pregnant killer. Cody Troutman with a Kansas stud named Stickers. I don't even know how many points it is, dude. It's like 15-pointer.
It's a beautiful buck.
Yeah. Kenny Coslett with a 190-pound 8-pointer from North Maine Woods. And Chris Pittman with a nice Connecticut 8-pointer.
Some great bucks. Some good deer dying. Make sure to get on over to our Facebook page, The Outdoor Drive, and post it up on there so that you can be recognized here in the Killer's Corner every single week on the Outdoor Drive podcast. Well, man.
I want to be in the Killer's Corner soon.
I know, me too.
I got my fingers getting a little itchy.
Yeah, well.
I'm seeing a lot of deer, man. I'm passing a lot of deer. Like, I'm having a blast. I'm grinding. I'm having fun. but god damn it wears you out.
It kills you,
Wears
bro.
you out. Yep.
I'm glad that I'm having a little bit of a breakup, but the whole passing of big deer or decent deer to look for that one shooter, it wears on you, dude. And then you get to that point where it's just time. Listen, dude, the loud bow's coming out, dude. I'm shooting with a gun
Yeah.
tomorrow. I don't care, bro. Da, 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 da,
I was
da.
thinking about I was thinking about taking the shotgun on public and just smashing a spike buck
Mm.
just like the old days, you know what I mean?
I love it, dude. I sighted in the muzzleloader. I sighted in the gun. I was looking at the dates, and I'm like, all right, bro. I got a couple more days till the season's over here. You got until December 5th. Let's go, bro. I'm public, and then it goes from. I didn't realize that muzzleloader season goes from December 5th to December 19th on public. So it's a very
Yeah, it
short
does.
period
And private goes till the
till the
31st. Yeah, it's crazy.
30th.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
You know what
excited, dude.
drives you know what drives me nuts and doesn't make any sense to me with Connecticut?
What's that?
Why you can't bow hunt during shotgun season
Yeah,
on
it's always
public
been
land.
a debate and always been
It's
something that I've
so
always been felt
stupid.
very
But you
strong
can
about.
use a muzzleloader. You can use a lesser weapon,
Yeah.
but a bow apparently is not a lesser weapon. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
so you
whatever.
can use the lesser weapon. You know what I want to be able to do? I just want to be able to hunt with my bow during shotgun season so then I can use my bow tags.
It- right.
I can't even do
Yeah.
that.
Well, what if you're like a hardcore bow hunter? You're chasing a target buck on public, and
Me?
then shotgun season opens.
Now you got to take
Yeah.
out a shotgun. I did this.
Yeah.
This happened to
It,
me a couple years ago. I was
I
chasing a
know.
big buck, and then I was like, "No, I only want to shoot him with the bow." And then he ended up getting shot with a gun. It's stupid. So then I said, "You know what? I'm gonna shoot him with a shotgun." That's what
Yeah.
I sighted in the muzzleloader and I shot in the shotgun, and I'm just gonna shoot him with the muzzleloader on public if I can, or chase him on public with a
Right.
muzzleloader during shotgun season because it's frustrating, dude. It's like you want to be able to do it, so it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Well, I'll tell you what. So I've been bow hunting straight through. Um, I even bow hunted opening day of rifle season.
Oh, I'm private,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's on private. Which is crazy, right? Because to me, opening day of rifle season is opening day. Like opening September 15th is not opening day in my opinion. Like the national holiday is opening day of rifle season, and I like an idiot, I kept grinding with the bow. And dude, like I said, I'm getting worn out. I'm hunting hard. I'm sick. I got the COVID. Not really, but it just sounds funny. Um, but anyways, so my dad's got one of those Savage 220s, the
Mm.
the 20 gauge bolt action, and he don't. My dad don't hunt public, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this for a little while, right? So tonight, or I bow hunted this morning, and it was real warm today, right? So it's got up to like 65 midday. So I'm not gonna hunt all day. So I came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the shotgun. I'm gonna take a little walk on public. Switch it up, right? Change the scenery, change the mindset, forget all the bullshit, leave the sticks and platform and saddle, just me,
Mhm.
my
I
orange
thought
vest.
about doing the same exact thing this afternoon. I got out of
Yeah,
work early.
just change it up, right? So I'm like, you know where I'm gonna go? I'm gonna go to the spot where I killed my first deer. Now, this isn't my first deer I ever killed. Like I killed a handful of deer like with my dad, right? Like on the same stand as my dad, with my dad right next to me. And then I killed some deer where I went with my dad. He was in one stand, I was in another stand. But this particular spot is the first place where I like drove myself to the hunting grounds, got out of the truck, went into the woods, shot a deer all by myself. Like, I don't need you, Dad. Like, I can go kill my own deer. Until I killed it, then I called my dad for help because then I still needed him, right? But yeah, so I was gonna go there tonight. I had this plan. I was gonna go up here. I was gonna sit on this ledge, and I was just gonna chill out and relax and just have a nice peaceful night. So I'm walking up there, and I'm using the terrain for my access, and I'm coming up the backside of the cliff, and I find a scrape. I'm like, all right, cool, it's open. So I keep working my way over, and I find another scrape. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, this is sweet. And like, dude, I'm in the mindset, like, I'm on public land with the shotgun. Like, I'm fucking waxing whatever comes by with horns. I don't give a fuck what it is, right? So I just crest the top to where I plan on sitting, and there's this dude sitting there in an orange vest 30 yards from me. Has no clue I'm behind him.
Mm-hmm.
No clue. So I'm like, fuck, are you kidding me? Like, Of all places, someone's sitting in my spot. That's public, right? So I turned around, walked away, and just kind of found somewhere else to hang out till dark. But I needed it, dude. I needed a change of scenery. I needed a look, you know.
That's what the morning's for, boys. Let's go.
Yeah. And then
Rip 'em up.
tomorrow morning, I'm really changing it up. I'm gonna help my old man tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um, it's something where we talk about it a lot, right? Like you get so caught up in the season and target bucks and this, that, and the other thing, and you like kind of forget what it's all about sometimes, right? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I didn't hunt opening day or rifle season like I always do. So I told my dad tomorrow morning I'm gonna go with him. I'm not even bringing a gun. I'm gonna sit in the same stand with dad like I'm 12 again, and I'm just gonna film him, and hopefully he shoots the first thing that walks by, and we have some fun.
That's what it's all
Doesn't
about, dude.
doesn't get any better than that.
No, it really doesn't, dude. That's how it's supposed to be. So, well, dude, let's break it off. Let's get some Jantzen on, dude. I want to hear this story about this potential state record.
Yeah, let's go gunning.
Let's go gunning. Rip it. You are now listening to the Outdoor Drive Podcast. In 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back on the phone with Jantzen Clifton. What's up, man?
What's up, my buddy?
I didn't ruin your name.
No, you got it. Perfect. First time.
First time in
J-Dog.
220 episodes, and I got it right. I'm doing something good tonight. Let's go, boys.
All
Yeah,
that
man,
else
let's
here.
go.
Oh, man. I'm excited, dude. I just want to say on the record, congratulations, Jantzen, dude. I think this is, before we get into it, everyone's seen the cover art and they know why they're all here, but like I personally want to congratulate you on an amazing achievement and one that we all, that's our life dream, dude, is something that you just captivated this season.
Thank you, man. I mean, it's truly been just a gift from God, the universe, whoever. It's just it's pretty crazy. It's like I feel like I won the lottery, basically.
It was funny. We were texting before the podcast today, and we were going back and forth, and you were saying how it was like surreal and stuff, and I was like, when I was thinking about it, talking to you, and you're like, I couldn't believe that it happened. And I'm like, well, it's just like winning the lottery. Like that's how he's got to feel like when this happens, something like this. I mean, this is incredible.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Truly is. I've been hunting for 17 years, and I have never seen anything like this. I've seen a couple of nice bucks, but nothing like this. But we can get into that.
Yeah.
As
Well, why don't we do that, man? Let's turn the key. Let's get this underway. We'll put this thing right in four-wheel drive. Why don't you tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about what you do?
All right. Well, I'm from Haines, Alaska. It's in the middle of nowhere. If you, it takes like a lifetime to get there, pretty much. And I moved from Haines down to Seattle, Washington, when I was like 9 years old, and then moved to Seabrook, New Hampshire in 1998. Why? Well, my mother met some guy. It was before like the internet and all that stuff, social media. It was called AOL, America Online. And my mother, my mother met this guy that lived in Seabrook, and we were in Washington, and he flew over to Seattle. They fell in love, and the rest is history.
That's
And yeah, I've been living in Seabrook, New Hampshire since 1998, and I've been paving commercially and industrially for about 25 years now.
wow. So when you lived in Alaska, did you do a lot of hunting? Like, where did your career in hunting and the outdoors like really kick off? Because Seattle, Washington, probably there's not much hunting there, right?
Yeah, no, hunting was always around me growing up as a kid. All my family members did it. I never did it when I was living in Alaska. I did a lot of fishing, like every day I
Hmm.
was fishing. Um, but hunting was always around me. And I didn't really get interested in hunting until I was like 20 years old. And I didn't have anybody to bring me or, any like mentors or anything like that. So I didn't care really. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get my hunting license and I'm going hunting. I don't know anything, but I'm heading into the woods and I'm going to go and try and get a deer. So I got went and took the hunter safety course. And actually, before I had even got my hunter safety course, I was going in the woods illegally and like not knowing a damn thing. Like literally, me and my friend, probably like 19, 20 years old, are sitting in this piece of woods that we probably don't even know if you're allowed to hunt in. We didn't know shit. And we're literally sitting on this like trail, like just off the trail. He's on one side of the trail, I'm on the other side of the trail, head to toe in camo with these rusty hand-me-down bows that probably don't even, I'm sure that don't even shoot straight. And we're sitting there, sitting there being real quiet, and we all of a sudden we catch movement at the corner of my eye. Here comes this jogger running up the trail. And I'm just thinking, if he sees us, this guy is gonna freaking freak out. Like, because we're probably in a spot where we're not supposed to be hunting. And like, just these random kids sitting on the ground with bow and arrows. We're gonna scare the shit out of him. Luckily, he never saw us. And but yeah, that's pretty much where I started hunting. And I just fell in love with it and um, shot my first deer with a bow. Few years later, and just been loving it ever since, pretty much.
So you were virtually just self-taught at that point, like just learning the ways of the ropes your own
Yeah,
way.
just making a lot of mistakes is
Yeah.
basically how I've been doing it, and I've been pretty successful since then. I kill at least 3 or 4 deer every year. Most I ever killed in one season was 6.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just doing it the good old boy way as a young kid, just going out there. We all started with squirrels and rabbits and shooting the neighborhood birds and whatever the else, might be there for
yeah.
us to kill, like
Oh yeah, I've killed everything with my bow. I've killed pheasants, turkeys, deer, rabbits, squirrels, uh, woodchucks, foxes, you name it.
everything but the bald eagle, right?
Yeah, my cousin did in
Oh,
Alaska.
jeez.
He got
Oh
arrested for
my,
that.
Oh, come
oh
on.
my,
Yeah, he did some jail time for that. Yeah,
No way.
yeah, he did. I think he did like a year in jail and paid like it was like a $2,000 fine or something, maybe
We
even more actually.
we always talk about that on the fishing boat, and guys would be like, "Oh, those are bald eagles. Those are amazing." Da da da. And I go, "Yeah, they taste just like chicken, and they go real good with Budweiser." I tell
America.
them.
Yeah.
Does it get any better than that? Like,
Well, they're like seagulls in Haines. They're everywhere.
yeah,
So probably got the eagle probably stole his bait and he got pissed and shot it with his 45 sidearm probably. I don't
what
know.
is he a fisherman there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he's a commercial fisherman. Yeah,
those commercial guys, they're a special
different
breed.
breed.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
commercial fisherman by trade.
Oh, that explains it.
So, I get it and understand it. I could tell you a million and one stories that probably would incriminate me if they were recorded online. So just,
Yeah,
I know a couple guys in
I know you're
Massachusetts.
kind.
Yeah, there's a couple guys in
Yeah, we're
Massachusetts.
talking on.
In Massachusetts, those guys they don't like the seals up there, so they run the boat up and down the beaches to try and run over the seals because the seals are such a problem up there. Like it's just
Yeah,
nuts. But that's their livelihood, man. That's how they make a living. That's how so they act that way and do those things for a reason because they have to, because that's the difference of a paycheck in their pocket and not, like it's the way that it
right.
goes. Well, man, let's get right into this because I want to hear the story on how you killed the Clifton buck and where it all started. Like, start from the morning and kind of take us through it. Like, waking up, opening day. I mean, obviously there's some type of camaraderie going on with this whole thing. And
Oh yeah, yeah. Geez, I almost didn't go.
really,
I almost didn't go hunting. Yeah. Well, I started what was it? October 28th. I started watching a movie. Like I was just because I've seen every freaking movie on the planet. And I started scrolling. Well, apparently I haven't, but I started scrolling through, the movies on Amazon Prime, and I found one, a Denzel Washington movie called The Little Things. And it was like he's like a homicide detective, and I love those kind of movies. And he's got to solve a murder and whatnot. So I started watching it, and it was really good. And I ended up falling asleep. I know it was that good. I ended up falling asleep. No, but I was super tired, so I just fell asleep. And I woke up the next morning. I had no plans on going hunting in the morning. I knew all my buddies were, but I was like, nah, they really didn't. I guess they just expected me to be there, but I really didn't have any plans to go. So, I woke up in the morning. I got my coffee going, and I was just relaxing. I'm like, we'll finish that movie now. So it's like 6:30 in the morning, and I'm watching my movie, having my coffee. And my buddy Nate calls me, and he's like, "You going gunning?" And I said, well, I really didn't plan on it. All right, tell you what, let me finish my movie, and I'll give you guys a call in, like, I don't know, 30 minutes or whatever. When I'm done, I'll see where you guys are at. I'll meet up with you. He's like, I just heard crickets for like a minute. He's like, uh, okay. Like I can hear him thinking, you're gonna watch a fucking movie instead of going gunning? What the hell's wrong with you? And so I hang up, whatnot, and I see how long the movie's got left. So I see it's got like an hour and a half, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm just gonna go hunting, whatever. So I meet up with the guys, and there was just a couple of us. There was Nate, Rylan, my buddy Justin, Tim, and Nate's son, Luke. And so I'm like, so we make a quick game plan, and there's a piece like literally like 2 minutes away that we're like, all right, we'll hit that piece, and then we'll go hit this piece, and we'll go hit that piece. So we had a couple of pieces that we had a nice game plan going. So we're like, all right, let's go. And we head over, and I've only been to this piece one other time, and because all my buddies hunt it, like they love that spot. So I never go in there. It's super small too. And uh, so I had been in there one time before, and this old buck, he's like, Jantzen, stand right here. So I'm like, all right, I'll stand right here. And I'm sitting there, and I set my gun like 5 feet away from me. Stupid idea, by the way. On a tree, leaning up against a tree, and sure as shit, here comes a doe, right out quick too. But she was sneaking. She was sneaking out. She wasn't like she was definitely sneaking out. And there we are, locked face, locked eyes together. And I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at my gun. I'm looking at her, looking at my gun, and I'm like, all right, somebody's got to make a move here. So I reached for my gun, and boom, she's gone out of here. Missed an opportunity. So so when I went there the other day, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit in the same spot that I did the last time I was here. I saw a doe and whatever. So I'm sitting there, and I see about 15, 20 minutes goes by, and I see Nate coming through. And I'm like, all right, yeah, and the drive's over. We're gonna go on to the next spot. And then like a minute later, I catch movement to my left. Same spot that I saw the doe come out last time too. And I just saw for a split second antlers, and I knew it was a buck. So I just instantly put up and was ready. And I didn't, and then as soon as I saw it, he come out just like this, coming out like this. I saw everything too, the drop tines. He actually had crap hanging off all of his antlers. Like there was vines and sticks and leaves and all kinds of crap, junk hanging off of his antlers. But I didn't get excited really. I didn't get nervous. I didn't start shaking, nothing. All I could focus on was just shooting this deer and getting a good shot on him, because you have to, you've got to. And I just let him get as close as possible. He was coming right to me, and he stopped like probably 15 or 20 yards, probably 15 yards, because he saw me. He saw me straight up, and he just hit the brakes with both of his front shoulders. He just locked it up. And I had already had the crosshairs on his chest when he had locked it up, and right there I squeezed the trigger, and he stumbled a little bit, like his like chin almost hit the ground, but he kept on his feet, and he just ran right into the swamp that was right in front of me. It wasn't a super thick swamp, but I lost sight of him, you know, almost instantly. And so, and then I started shaking uncontrollably, like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? What just happened? And and then I was like beside myself. Well, first thing I did was reload, because a couple of years ago I shot a big deer, and it would have been my first wall hanger, and I shot the deer. The deer dropped. I walked up on it. The thing was right there, dead, laying there, not moving at all, not moving. I'm like looking to the sky, saying, "Thank you, Lord," like almost crying, almost. And and then all of a sudden, the deer just starts, gives a, like he's got life in him, and I'm like, "Holy shit, maybe I should reload." And I start reloading, and then his front shoulders didn't work at all, and he just, well, long story short, he got away, and we had fishing game. That deer bled 30 gallons of blood out of him. Ran, I don't know how long. We had fishing game, state police, dogs, everybody looking for that deer. We never found it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I immediately reloaded after I shot the Clifton buck. And but then he ran into the swamp, and I didn't hear him anymore. But I wasn't going to celebrate, not after what happened to me that day. And my friends come out, and they're like, I was like beside myself. I'm like down on one knee, hand on my head, like, and I can hear them talking. They're like, "Oh boy, he looks discouraged. He looks discouraged. He probably missed one." And so they finally get up to me, and they're like, "Jantzen, what the fuck happened? What happened? What happened?" So I'm like, "You guys, like, I either just hit, or I just killed the biggest buck in my life." And they're like, "No way." And they're like, they got all fired up. And I'm like, "All right, just slow down, you guys, slow down."
You're telling them to slow down.
Yeah. I'm like, "You guys, just slow down." They're like, he's like, "All right, Jantzen, where were you standing? Where was that deer standing?" I'm like, "All right, all right, all right." So I'm going over to the spot I was standing, and Nate, he's already running down to like general area where I told him the deer was. He's like, "Jantzen, we got blood everywhere down here. You fucking numbed him, buddy. He is dead. He is dead in a doornail. I guarantee it." And so I'm like, "All right, all right. Well, just take it easy. Take it easy. Just let's just
They
go
don't
slow."
know the caliber of the deer at this point, really. They just know that
No.
it's a big deer.
Yeah, yeah. And I actually have the video of us walking up on the deer. It's pretty crazy. And but so we're on this blood trail, and he's leaking pretty good. And there he was, not 40 yards piled up right there. It was insane. Absolutely insane.
What went through your mind as you started to walk up on this deer? Obviously, there's no ground shrinkage at this point, and what was the things and the emotions that were just kind of going through your mind? I know there's a ton of people around, and they're kind of taking some of it, but there has to be some type of internal, feeling to what is going on at this point.
It's just, I don't, it's just unreal, really. I mean, somebody who's, I'm in the tree stand, like, deer hunting while I'm watching deer hunting, like on my phone. Like, I'm eating deer, dreaming about deer, friggin' thinking about deer when I'm at work, just constantly thinking about deer. So, um, but I mean, it's just, like I said, I'm not a trophy hunter. I've always wanted to kill a big deer, with huge antlers and whatnot. But it was just insane. It's just like winning the lottery, pretty much. It's like winning, the mega bucks or something, as far as I'm concerned.
That
Mega
was the mega
bucks.
bucks.
I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, did anybody in your party know about this deer? Were there trail camera pictures of this deer? Had anyone seen this deer before? Did you guys know this deer was in the area, or was it just a rando?
It was just a rando. Nobody in my party knew about the deer. No, nobody in the next parties over I've ever seen the deer. But I did get a message from a guy on Messenger. He's like, "Hey, I've been watching this deer for 3 years. Here's the videos and pictures of him over the past 3 years." And he was just wanted to know where he was shot, and that's pretty much it. And he was like, "Wow, man, congratulations!" And he was super pumped for me.
Has
That's awesome. Do
anybody
you know
else come forth with sheds or anything else of this buck? Because of, I mean, this is a deer of a serious caliber that potentially would have left some type of droppings behind it.
No, before he turned into a freak, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. He was a really nice 10 pointer, just a beautiful, typical 10 pointer. And then I don't know, he must have been. I think you know what I think he did. I think he went to the nuke plant and started drinking water out of the puddles over there, and then he started growing weird formations all over the place.
Have you
Do
had
you
an age done on him to know how old he is, or?
Yeah, the biologist said he was at least 6 years old, 5.5 to 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he
do you know
just
how
hit that.
far away that gentleman was that was thought he was hunting that deer?
Yeah, he was pretty close.
Okay.
Within a 2 to 3 miles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, this is pretty crazy, but the deer that I lost, um, said that. So the guy said that he's been um, watching him on Brown Road. That's exactly where I shot that deer a couple of years ago, and the butcher, um, he's also my friend, said that he had 3 holes in him. So it could possibly be the same deer that I shot a couple of years ago.
Dude, could you
Come
imagine? That's
on.
why he blew up. You put that lead in him, and he got lead poisoning and
Yeah.
So
turned into a freak.
I don't
so
know.
it was
That's pretty wild.
the
But
year before that you shot the big buck and lost it.
yeah, yeah, it was
So
2 years ago.
2 years
Bro,
ago.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
wild. And does
yeah.
he? What was the placement on those holes? Were they anywhere near where you think you hit him?
Same exact spot where I hit
Come
him.
on.
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
No way.
You know what I've been thinking this whole time, this whole story from the start? It's one of those, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You know what I mean? From you not almost not going to just everything that's happened. It's just like it's in the cards. Like you had no control over it. It was going to happen.
Universe had a plan, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's crazy that potentially this could have been a deer that you've already shot, been after, chased, lost, and then he then appeared again, but in a miraculous way. Like you, and especially not being like quote unquote a trophy hunter and wanting a wall hanger buck. Like he was there, you lost him, you've been through this roller coaster ride, you were on the down slope, and then here comes the Clifton buck, and you end up shooting him, and come to find out it potentially could be the same buck that you shot that was going to be the first wall hanger, and he was like, hold on, hold my beer, I'm about to do
Yeah.
something crazy for you.
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
So as you walk up on this buck, like what is going through your mind, and as you grab a hold of him, like what happened? Like what, I mean, obviously, did you realize how big he actually was? Like where did it all happen? Because I know that, and anybody, in us being, these hunters and camaraderie and deer drives and this, that, and the other thing, the fun has just begun.
Yeah. Oh, I knew he was a giant right away. I knew he was a freaking super special deer. And but again, I didn't let any of my emotions get a hold of me. I shot him, and he passed away real quick. And but when I got up on him, I couldn't do anything but laugh. To be honest with you, I couldn't do anything but laugh. It was just so stupid. It was retarded. And all my friends are like, Jantzen, And he goes, "Oh my fucking Jantzen, fuck did you do?" I'm like, I don't know. We were cracked. We couldn't. We stayed there for probably, I don't know, a half an hour, 45 minutes before I even gutted him, and we were just in awe, taking pictures. And luckily, we didn't have to drag him far because he was fucking heavy.
Was he? What did he dress
Yeah,
out as?
210.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much of that is bone weight though?
Yeah, I know. Dude, his head weighs 100
No
pounds.
shit, right?
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did he end up scoring at?
Well, my buddy Justin, as you know,
Yep.
uh,
Team member Justin.
team
JB.
member, team member Justin, um, scored him up there at the butcher's that night, and he said he was being, uh, you know, lenient or
Liberal.
liberal. He was being liberal with it, real liberal. He said, just to not get my hopes up or whatever.
Yeah.
And he got 188.5.
Wow.
So,
And what is the standing muzzleloader state record at this point?
the standing muzzleloader record right now is 182.6.
Wow. So it's going to be
So
6 inches difference.
yeah, I'm excited to see what I think I got Roscoe. I'm gonna have Roscoe Blaisdell do the scoring.
Is he part of the Northeast Big Buck Club or is he?
Yeah, it's right here. I actually have it right here. The New Hampshire Trophy Deer Program,
Oh,
official measurer for Boone and Crockett Club, Pope and Young, New Hampshire Antler and Skull Trophy Club.
oh,
Um, yeah,
Cool.
that's so awesome, dude.
yeah, crazy.
Did you ever think that you would ever have a deer registered in a book like something like that? Like it's always been like a dream of all of ours, right? But like, did you think that
Yeah, well, I never even dreamed it because I didn't think it would ever be a reality. So I never even crossed my mind. Like, yeah, like I don't even care. My name's
Mhm.
never in a book. I'm never gonna shoot a giant. So it's not even in the back of my mind ever. I just go deer hunting and just back straps. That's it. Let's go.
You just want to kill deer?
Back straps and beers, baby.
That's it. Just a certified killer. Just want to kill
Mhm.
everything. It doesn't matter. Put meat in the freezer, fill it.
Just put meat. That's all I care about is those sweet, sweet meat. That's it.
Sweet.
Tacos, whatever you want to make, meatballs. What I treat venison exactly the same way I would beef. Like exactly. Like doesn't matter what you want to make. Like if you can make it with beef, we can make it with deer. No problem.
Was the Clifton buck tasty?
Yes, he's super tasty. He didn't smell, like you would think these giant bucks, they smell all, nasty and musty and their glands on their legs. I didn't smell nothing. Nothing. He didn't smell any different than a newborn a yearling. He really
Mm.
didn't. He really didn't.
He wasn't rutted up yet.
No, yeah. And I was super happy that because I shot him in the chest that it didn't hit his guts. I don't know how that happened, but it luckily it didn't hit any of his guts, and he was gutted beautifully. He was dressed beautifully. Then he was taken right to the butcher, so everything was done perfect. And let me tell you, his fillets,
The
money,
loins. The
Trophy
money.
fillets.
Yeah,
Trophy
fillets.
loins. Trophy
Trophy loins, baby. Yeah.
I always laugh when you hear people, the whole saying how, big buck meat isn't as good and the little ones taste better. I think anyone that says that has never shot a big buck before, because when I go to the freezer and I pull out that meat and I know it came off a big buck, it tastes pretty fucking sweet to me, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or if people say that they had bad experiences with deer meat is because it was all in the way it was killed and the way it was processed.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, and I'm guilty of that myself. When I was younger and butchering my own deer, I didn't know my ass from my elbow. So, I was touching the glands on the legs and then touching the meat. And I'm going, why does this meat taste like shit? Like, well, because you don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you just learn from you. And that's what it is people, or it was shot in the guts and there's, entrails of the guts all over the meat and the inside. It wasn't rinsed out, well. It's just all of those factors play into, what it's going to be good table fare. So,
Right.
I got one question, Jantzen. So now that you've shot unofficially shot the new muzzleloader state record, are you gonna hunt any differently?
absolutely not. No,
You're not
not
gonna
as.
trophy hunt or nothing like this.
Oh,
It's.
hell no. If I didn't have to be here with you guys tonight, I would have been going to try and fill my last doe tag.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm pretty content at the moment. I'm pretty content. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Do you already have envisions of mounting your deer and where you're gonna put it and how you're gonna mount it and all that good stuff? Or
Oh yeah, yeah. I went to the best guy that I hear nothing but good things about him. As far as I know, he's probably the best in New Hampshire. It's Reverend Taxidermy,
mm-hmm.
out of Hopkinton, New Hampshire. His name is Joe. He does amazing work. He's won a lot of awards. And yeah, I mean, I got the most expensive mount because why not? This deer
Yeah.
is deer of a lifetime. So, I don't care.
One thing that you see a lot of guys doing, and I don't know if it's even in your thought mind or even education of it, but one of the things a lot of people and a lot of guys do with it is get replications of their deer. As far as like getting 3D image replications of your buck, as kind of like an insurance policy, because a lot of guys that like with like bringing it to shows or bringing it places or whatever the case may be. And I mean, this is potentially the state record. You know what I'm saying? So like they're gonna ask you to bring it to shows and go places and do things. And a lot of guys, they don't even really use their real antlers a lot of the times on some of these bucks because like if something is to happen with a fire or whatever, right, Steve? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a huge thing that a lot of guys do with big bucks.
I think isn't the guy we talked to in Harrisburg. I
Mm-hmm.
believe they can do a 3D imagery and just save it as a file. And if
Correct.
you ever wanted to duplicate it down the road, you could go that route
Mm-hmm.
too. Like you don't actually have to duplicate it. You can like electronically duplicate it.
Yeah. A lot of guys do that with big bucks. So that they have like a second set. Or a lot of guys too, another thing that I've seen done too, a good friend of ours, Kurt, his father, shot this buck they call it the Geyer buck. It's an absolute giant out of Illinois. He actually had a euro made out of it, a 3D euro of it. So it was actually a skull mount of the same exact buck. So that when their friends came over, whatever, he just handed them that euro of the same exact buck. They color it the same, everything. I mean, it virtually looks exactly the same. It's kind of cool, actually, when it comes to big bucks.
I honestly didn't even know that they did that. It's
Mm.
the first I've ever heard of it.
It's kind of cool, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's really cool. Um, it just reminded me of, I don't know why, but another thing is I don't even own a single trail camera. Not one single trail camera.
are you gonna get a trail camera now?
I don't think so. Probably not.
No, I change. I'm thinking about this whole story, and I'm changing up my whole strategy here. I am no longer a trophy hunter. I'm throwing away all my trail camera pictures. And what was the name of that movie again?
The little things.
I'm watching it tonight. Was it good?
It was really good. You should watch it. It's
Did
really
you end up?
good movie.
The
I
real
might
question
watch
is,
it
did you
tonight.
finish it? Because you left early to go hunting. So when did you finish the little things?
I haven't even really finished it yet since this whole thing's
You know
happened.
why? Because you were watching the little things and some big things happen. So
Yeah.
gotta
That's
put it on
right.
that burner.
I think it's just amazing how just like humble and just like chill, relaxed, just deer hunter, like just it couldn't happen to a better person, honestly, in my mind. Like, just it's super
Thanks, man.
cool and surreal because like there's so many people out there that like have this like confidence and cockiness that they're gonna shoot this giant buck and they go their whole lives and they do this and then they shoot a big buck and like, oh yeah, it's cool, wow, hands in the air. But like someone like yourself that just enjoys it for the real reasons and goes out there and has fun and doing deer drives and hanging with the boys and drinking
Oh
beers,
yeah.
like
Oh yeah,
that's
man.
life,
That's
bro.
that's the best, dude. That is the best. That's like that's what I look forward to. You know, like
Mhm.
just the other day, last weekend, we were on a deer drive, and my buddy Bucky, shot a doe, and he was literally it was probably like I don't know 10 in the morning, and so I'm like, well, all right, guys, we can go back and start drinking beer now. Drinking beer and talking about deer. Let's go. And he was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. It was awesome.
Do they make you now be the bird dog now that you shot the big buck, or they treat you differently now that you shoot the big buck on the drive?
No, actually, no, I'm willingly being the bird dog. Nobody asked me to do anything. I'm willingly doing it because, you know, I feel like I owe it to the guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they pushed out the biggest deer of my life to me. So, yeah.
I
And just the other day, actually, I was bird dogging for him. Literally, first piece, I go in just literally 15 feet off the road, jump a huge buck, giant buck, another one right in front of my face. I could have smoked him, but I don't have a buck tag. So
Oh, so you're
yeah,
just doe hunting at this point.
yeah, yeah. I have one M tag left, and that's it.
So
All done.
what did you do? So did you get like the golden horseshoe that like now you're like attracted to these giant bucks to like?
I don't know. I think the universe is like, that kid's been working his ass off for like 17 years. I think maybe we should just make him the buck magnet now.
Just make
I
them.
hope. I hope.
But now you're just giving it back to the group, and hopefully, did they end up shooting the buck that you threw up to him, or?
No, no. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, my buddy Bucky,
Mm-hmm.
because he's a shitty kid himself. He gets lucky. He's killed a couple of really nice bucks.
So what
Just
they call him, Bucky?
yeah, yeah. He's Bucky. He's definitely Bucky. And so he's killed a couple of really nice deer. And he actually was running right to Bucky. I said, Bucky, big buck in front of you right now. Fucking, he just stood there. I was watching the buck, just stood there, and then I yelled again, Bucky, big buck, and then he started running again. But I think he went across the train tracks and out of everybody's life. So
Now,
yeah,
my
You,
question with oh, go ahead, Steve.
I was just gonna go ahead. Ask your question. I'll get to my
So
point in
my
a sec.
question is, when you go to set up on a piece, are you doing something like is wind a variable in it? Are you setting up on certain ways, or are you boys just getting in the woods and getting after it?
no. I mean, if it was up to me, I would have the sitters sitting downwind of where we're driving, just so they have a better opportunity. But for the most part, we just head in and get them going, pretty much.
Full send, baby.
Just
Just full
old
send.
school, full send.
I,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's cool, man, because it doesn't really get talked about as much as it should, right? I think the hunting industry has gotten so much into trail cameras and mobile tree stand setups and
yeah,
scent and Bozana and all the bullshit, right?
yeah. Oh
But
yeah. Oh, all
deer
that's bullshit. Bunch of
but,
bullshit.
but deer drives are so overlooked in today's society, and it is the pastime of deer hunting. Like every
Mhm.
one of us, and probably most of the listeners, like we grew up. That's what we did. Like every one of us has memories of driving deer as kids, and like I know for me, I didn't know it at the time, but I learned so much as a kid bird dogging for my dad. You know, I don't know if this was legal at the time, but like I wasn't even old enough to hunt. And my dad would be like, go up there, you're going to find a wall, take a left, follow that, and I'll be right here waiting for you when you come back. And I didn't know it at the time, right? But I was I was basically exploring deer bedding areas, right? Like I'm finding deer beds and tracks and this and that. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I was pushing deer out of there. And then now, like as I evolved, now I'm a big archery hunter, right? And I'm hunting those bedding areas with my bow. But I was gaining knowledge as a little boy running through those bedding areas, and I don't think deer drives is talked about as much as it should be because it's a huge part of deer hunting.
Mm-hmm. Especially here in New England, I think it's really popular, um, and it's just a great time. You get together with all your friends, and you talk stories, and you get out there and get exercise, and even if you don't kill a deer, you're still having a good time. Everybody still has a good time. Um, shit, I forgot what I was going to say, but
We
go ahead.
we do a ton of it where like when we were growing up and stuff, deer drives was the way of the world. I mean, they do it a ton in the West too. Iowa, they do a ton of it. Ohio, these big buck states. I mean, deer driving, party hunting is huge out there.
No
Huge.
shit.
They do a ton of it, but it's not talked about because you're not in a deer stand on some green grass, clover grass, hunting big whitetails. Like it's not talked about. Like for us in New England, we do a ton of it. Like it was
Mhm.
my way of life and my heritage growing up was like driving deer. Like that's all we did. The boys growing up after that, like out of high school and in college, that's all we did was drive deer. The first 3 days, 4 days of deer season was going and driving deer. I mean, that's what we all did. Then we would all go and sit after that and chase our bucks and do whatever we wanted to do. But like shooting
Oh,
deer and dragging deer. I mean, I remember going into deer drives, shooting 4 or 5 deer, and spending half the afternoon trying to get them out of the swamp on carts, and the carts breaking and putting them in canoes and all kinds of crazy stuff. But there's those memories of us as
Oh,
kids, man. Like
yeah.
mhm.
and
Well,
the guy that gets too drunk the night before opening day, and we drag him out in the woods, and you got to make him sit there, and then you fill his tag for him. All kinds. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome,
well,
dude. That's life.
ar- archery hunting is a lonely sport. It's a one-man sport, and you're out there by yourself grinding, and you're all alone. And there's parts of that that's great, right? But there's nothing like getting with the boys and hooting and hollering and forgetting about all the bullshit and just
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. To I just want to jump back over to when you were talking about how I feel like hunting is a little different now, like with all like the trophy hunters and the trail cameras and the sent away stuff and all the accessories that they're trying to sell you for hunting and all that stuff. None of that stuff matters at all. I don't use any of that crap. Literally, the doe that I just shot the other day, I smell like an asphalt plant. Like literally, I have run in the woods with tar all over my boots, a freaking work vest on, probably still got my hard hat on. Um, and actually, it's a funny story. I found this tree stand like I don't know 16, 15 years ago, and I've never sat in it. I've always known it's there. It's got like briars and shit growing out of it everywhere. And I went there the other day, and the wind wasn't exactly perfect, but I was like, you know what? My best spot is probably that old tree stand. And freaking sure as shit, I get up in that tree stand, and not just at the magic hour, here comes two beautiful does coming right to me. I'm like, money. And I shot the first one, she dropped, and I was gonna shoot the other one, but it was getting too dark and I didn't get a shot. So, but yeah, just crazy. So none of that stuff you really need. You don't need trail cameras. You don't need, all that scent lock and all that crap. You just need to play the wind. That's it. Just play the wind and you'll kill a deer all day. For
No,
those of you listening, you don't need to buy all that crap.
I
look
agree.
at me. I shot the state record New Hampshire deer. No, I have none of it.
That's right. I was
My name,
hungover too.
my name is Jantzen Clifton, and I approve this message.
Yeah, it's true story. True story.
I think it's just so awesome, bro. I really do. And so, what happened? What was the celebration like after? I bet you didn't sleep for 3 days, dude. Just hanging out, drinking beers with the boys.
Oh, yeah, we tied one on that night for sure. And it's really it's been a it's been a party for the past couple of weeks. To be honest with you. I'm still celebrating. Yeah, my truck got left there at my buddy's house for a day or two, and I went and picked it up a couple of days, and yeah, it was a good night. It's unreal, man. It's crazy.
So do
Still
you have
can't.
the antlers at home and everything like that? And
No, I'm waiting for the guy. He actually shot a deer in Ohio,
yep.
and a really nice buck, and he's gonna pick it up, I imagine, like within a day or two from the butcher, and he's gonna bring my antlers with it, all cleaned and everything, so that once the 60 days is up, then I can bring him to the New Hampshire official measurer.
That's awesome, man.
But I can't wait to get him home. I can't wait to put my hands on him and stare at him pretty much all day.
You will too, and you'll bring him everywhere. He'll ride around in the truck and go
Oh,
see
shoot.
everybody.
I got his hoof in my freezer right now. Look.
The hoof in the freezer.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not gonna lie. I got a hoof in my freezer too.
That whole night, dude, I just held on to this hoof all night long.
Let me see the toes. Let me see them toes.
He's
To the bottoms.
What has he got? He's got the white on the hoof.
Yeah, he's got like nice little white socks on.
Look at that.
Did you sleep with it?
Look, you got
like
a broken toe too. He would have been an easy one to track in the snow, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What are you gonna do with that? You gonna make it into something cool?
I don't know. Thinking about it. Not sure. I might just keep it in my freezer forever.
The Clifton Buckfoot. This is the lost. 50 years down the road, they're gonna be like, "Whatever happened to the Clifton Buckfoot?"
I'm gonna tell you right now, Jantzen, you better make sure you get a replica made of that foot.
Yeah. I'm gonna sell it on eBay. Start, taking bids. Highest bidder.
It's fake ones out there. This isn't real. This is a fake foot.
So this is crazy, right? So we're having this conversation about the foot and the missing, this, that, and the other thing. So a lot of the times, a lot of these trophy bucks that get shot in other states or whatever, like Ohio or whatever, and then become record deer, people come forth with the antlers, and then the antlers end up be going into certain people's memorabilia and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh my God, the Clifton buck antler, I had it in 2019. Like, this is it, and it's worth X amount of dollars, and blah 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 blah." That's what they're gonna try and do with that foot. Like, that foot's gonna be in someone's memorabilia box, and they're gonna be like, "This is off of the Clifton buck." But
raffling it off at Whitetails Unlimited.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually thinking about that. Like it should like one day when I die, it should like go to like, I don't know where it should go. I'm probably not gonna have any kids, to be honest with you. So I'd be sick if it would go to like a Cabela's or something, or someplace cool like that.
That would be something that I would like. Northeast Big Buck Club would be one of the cool places that would take it and bring it to all the shows that they do. That would be a cool one because it is a Northeast buck or something like that. Like, there's a ton of them that like the Northeast is not like a quote unquote big buck place, but like Iowa Deer Classic, they have a Hall of Fame. And there's a lot of dudes that are there who's the dude from Whitetail Adrenaline, the one that is his father got him all the exotic pets and all that stuff. Do you know who I'm talking about? Tanner. So Tanner brings his grandfather's buck back to Iowa every single year to the Iowa Deer Classic to be in the Hall of Fame. Because they have Hall of Fames and stuff. So they do have it. And Northeast Big Buck Club also has a Hall of Fame too. So it could be cool to bring it to be part of that.
Do you have any, what your turnaround time is with the taxidermist?
Everybody's telling me like 6 to 7 months. It's not
That's
even
not bad.
That's not bad.
I would definitely, I mean, it's completely up to you, but I would think about maybe bringing it to like the Springfield Sportsman Show if you wanted to. I know, what's his name there? Chris Alberini.
Yeah.
I think he brought his last year, and it wasn't even mounted yet. It
Yeah,
was on
just the
display
antlers.
there, though.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, they do all
I
kinds
would
of great
totally do
stuff,
something
man.
like that.
Now you're like oh, what do I? You know what I'm saying? Like it's so cool.
You can have your own booth at Springfield, just signing autographs. I remember. Hey, I remember. This is a funny story. Speaking of that, I remember when Milo Hansen shot the buck back in the early '90s. He was doing the tour. You know, this is world record.
Hanson buck. I remember
And
that.
I remember. I don't know. It was
Still
I
world
think
record.
when was that, Trev? 91, 93?
Yeah, 93 was the Hanson
So
buck.
I was 5, 7 years old. I met Milo Hansen and got his autograph, and good luck in your future hunting and all that stuff. I had this like little quarter with the Milo Hansen buck on it. Man, I thought it was awesome.
It never
Oh,
helped
man,
you at
that's
all,
so
did it?
cool.
Oh, that's my secret. I take that quarter with me every time I go in the woods. Now I need a Clifton buck quarter.
It's so cool to see that stuff, though. The guys that do it, and I love the fact that you named it the Clifton buck. Like because there's always those deer, and like they name them different things. What is the reason why you named it that?
Well, actually, I didn't come up with the Clifton buck. Good friend of mine, Tommy Codd, Thomas Knight. He actually got the New Hampshire state record lake trout. And we're like besties, and he's older than me. He's like 63, but he's like the Clifton buck. That's the Clifton buck, and I was like, wow, that sounds good. I like it. I was like the Clifton buck. That's pretty sweet. That's what it is. All right, I love it.
I think it's awesome. That's what they
Yeah,
do,
man.
though.
Yeah.
That's really what they do is they name it after the last
Most of
name.
them, yeah.
The Hanson buck, the
What about
Brunswick
the
buck.
Rapala?
The
Rapala?
Jordan buck.
The
The
Jordan.
Jordan buck. I think the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's not a last name is the hole in the horn buck, right? I mean,
The hole in the horn buck, and then the Zeus buck, which was the Illinois new state record. The one with like you
the
ever
kid
seen
that
them with the 10 drop tines or flyers, kickers off it? They call it Zeus. No, Mufasa. Mufasa is actually the name of it, not Zeus. Mufasa.
You've heard of the Rapala buck, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Apollo buck. Oh, I've seen it.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you've
How'd you
seen
see
it?
it? It got lost in a fire.
No, they have a replica of it, and they brought it because they brought it to the classic. They brought some dude. They have the butcher buck. That was another one that was there. They actually did a documentary on that buck actually because he got so much gripe about that buck.
What's your guys' favorite buck, though?
I like the mystery of the Rapala buck.
Yeah.
I like the hole
It's
in
a
the
pretty
wall
wild
buck.
story.
The hole
Huh?
in the horn buck's pretty cool.
I've always been partial to the Hanson buck only because I'd seen it and met him. I already told you that, but
I think
yeah.
my new favorite now is the Clifton buck, though. I think after
definitely
some
the
questions.
You're very sweet.
Well, Jantzen, I got one last question for you, man, and that is, what drives you outdoors?
What drives me outdoors? Just to be honest with you, just the thrill of the hunt, the excitement, the not knowing, and just to be able to put some good eats, some good steak on my plate is like basically it. Just that's pretty much it. Just being outside, being outdoors, being in the tree stand. You got your setup there, and it's just like perfect. You got the sun coming down, and it's just great. That's what drives me outdoors, pretty much.
See, I think it's so cool the fact that you're just like so humbled and you're just like, yeah, put a steak on my plate. Like you don't care. Like the real bro, like that was like us at like 16 where we're just like, I love it, man. I just want to kill everything. Like I wish I was still like, I envy you for being like that, man. Like just not sucked up in the bullshit, not sucked up in the craziness, just want to hunt, man. And like
Yeah,
some Fred Eichler shit.
like I said, like all my friends own like 30 trail cameras, and they got them all over the place, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they're spending thousands of dollars on scent lock suits and bags to put their shit in and all this stuff. And it's just like, dude, you don't need to do all that. Just go in the woods and hunt, man. You don't need to do all that crap. Just hunt. Let's hunt, baby.
It's kind of crazy because like myself, like always still sucked up in the fact of like killing big deer, like always chasing a trophy deer or whatever. But sometimes there's always this just like crazy key that gets turned sometimes, and like
Mhm.
a good big doe comes by or a 2-year-old walks by, and I'm just like, I'm gonna let the air out of that thing. And then I let the air out of it. Like I just have to. Like it's just that urge, man. Like I don't care. Like yeah, everybody wants to shoot a big buck every year, but like, dude, sometimes I just want to let the air out of something. I really do. I just want to kill things, man. I just love to kill things. I'm sorry. Like I know it's morbid and fucked up, but like I just want to kill things, man. I just do. Like I love
Well,
eating it. I love ah.
to be honest with you, um, I actually had a hard time this year for some reason. I don't know whether it's I'm getting old or what, but I felt super bad for every deer except for the big buck. I didn't get that with the big buck, but I
Fuck him.
yeah, I felt super bad for all the deer that I killed this year for some reason. I don't know why. Like I had to look away a couple of times. Call me a pussy or whatever, but I don't know. I felt bad. They died pretty fast, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just felt fucking bad for them. Like I don't know why, but I don't feel bad when I'm eating them and they're on my plate. And so,
You,
but yeah,
you know,
I,
you bring up a good topic, actually. You know, you really honestly do, because there's a point. All right, so there's a point where you have to feel that way because they still are an animal and you're taking a life, right? You have to
yeah, it's a living
respect it.
thing.
Exactly.
that's the thing, is the respect.
You have to have a
Yeah.
respect for that animal. Like so in in the summer months, I'm a commercial fisherman. In the winter months, I'm a butcher. I work at a slaughterhouse. I do every year different ones, whatever, and you're
Oh,
taking a life from an animal, and you have to have the separation of what that animal is and what that animal is going to become, right? Where I
mhm.
know it's kind of crazy, but like you have to have that mindset that that's food. And it's either them or you. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have a
Mm.
respect for it in that same aspect where like it is a living animal. It's one of God's creatures. It was put here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to procreate and fill the freezer. I mean, like that's just the way it is. That's how you survive. You know what I'm saying? And like but you still haven't earned a respect for it. Like I feel bad about every animal that I take the life of because I'm taking the life of something. But you
Mhm.
still have to understand in your mind that like, bro, loins are loins. Like,
Loins and loins.
you know. Do you
Yeah.
agree, Steve? I see the smoke coming out of your ear here, man.
Well, yeah, I do agree. I think throughout the
$20 is
years,
$20. No.
throughout the years in history, we've kind of lost concept of it. At the end of the day, it's food, right? And in today's day and age, nobody needs to hunt to survive, right? We
Mhm.
don't. We have food at our disposal. You go to the grocery store, you buy whatever the fuck you want, right? Like nobody has to kill a deer to survive.
Yep.
But there was a time where killing an animal was the only means of survival, right? And
Mhm.
it wasn't that long ago in the grand scheme of things, right? And we lose touch with that, but at the end of the day, like that's the primal instinct that we all feel, right? So like when we get buck fever, when you see that buck coming, or even a doe, right? Like some people get the shakes when they see a doe coming, right? And you get this excitement. Well, 100 years ago, that feeling, that nervousness was like, don't fuck this up, because if I don't fuck this up, my family doesn't fucking eat tonight.
Yeah.
You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And that's why we still feel that, but we don't realize it's in our DNA.
Mhm.
I I agree with you there, and like what you were saying is like we do have food at our disposal, but like us going out into the wilderness and taking pheasants, turkeys, and woodchucks and deer and whatever else, like we want to eat a certain type of way, a
Right.
certain type of food. We want to eat what is more natural, what is better for our diet. Like the shit nowadays, and I see it all the time, man. Like you want to talk about food, like the stuff in the stores today is pumped full of water. They allow it up to have 20% water pumped into it. So it's literally water, and there's other artificial things that they put in it. So like us naturally being the primal person that we are and taking the animals that we're taking those animals because we are feeding our bodies with more natural good food, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I had not eaten hamburger, store-bought hamburger in probably, I don't know, 10 years, say.
Mhm.
I watched my mom cook some store-bought hamburger the other day. It was fucking disgusting. Like, it doesn't even look like real. It's like got dye in it and shit. Like, it doesn't even look the same when you cook it. It's gross.
Oh, 100%.
It's gross.
They put shit in it to make it look, to make it look like red like that,
Mhm.
Right.
to keep that color for longer so it
Keep it
looks
look
fresh.
fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's nothing like venison's not red like that. It's
no.
brown.
Yeah,
Um,
it's dark red, it's not
right.
Purple.
that.
Right. But back to touch on what Trev just said, what I meant was in relation to what you said is I feel that yes, it's for, healthy organic food with no hormones and all that stuff, but I still think that we as hunters are fulfilling like a void to go out like as hunter and gatherers, right? Like
Mhm.
you're fulfilling a satisfaction inside of you that like you were born to do. Whether
100.
you whether you need that food to survive or not, like it's in you and it has to come out. And the only way to like feel that is to go out there and do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had this feeling inside of me ever since I was a young kid that I need to go hunt. Like I need to go hunt.
Yeah.
Even before I started hunting, I always wanted to hunt.
Right.
And finally, once I got of age, I just took action.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, dude, we're still fucking cavemen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can have an iPhone and all the fancy shit you want. At the end of the day, it's just cavemen. Go get fucking meat and bring it home and put it over the fire. That's all that matters.
And that's what my wife will exactly what she'll tell you. I'm nothing but a caveman.
That's right. We all
Just
are.
red meat.
A farting, stinking caveman.
Yep.
But it's
Lipstick on a pig.
it's so true. And like look at it. This is the other thing is we don't really get to talk about none of this, so it's kind of actually kind of cool. But like so as far as like food goes, to put food on the table and these things that we do, like and going out and killing deer and whatever else to put food on the table, we do that for a reason because we as people want to do that. Like you're saying, like it's even the exploring aspect of it and being in the woods and checking nature out and foraging different things, and like that was all things that not too long ago, that's how fucking people survived. Us in our young age, where like, in the poverty stage of our lives or whatever the case may be, or whatever, wherever we came from, like, we did that stuff all the time. It was normal to do that stuff, man. And it's crazy to see where food is now going because there's so many people that come into like the slaughterhouse all the time to buy beef and they buy it by the piece, right? And they'll come in and they'll be like, dude, I was just at Stop and Shop or I was at Price Choppers or whatever. And their meat looks disgusting. Like I can't even eat it. And then they'll come down and they'll buy USDA meat and they're like, wow, it's good meat again, And throughout COVID, people are all like, where am I going to get meat? And guys like us are like, fuck it. Close all the meat spots down, dude. The freezer's full, bub. We got them. Don't worry about it. And they're all like, hey, Trev, can I come over and have a steak? No, bro. You didn't want anything to do with my lifestyle until the shit hits the fan, right? I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah. And there's no better feeling in the world for me to go out and shoot a deer and prepare this beautiful meal for my wife, my stepdaughter, and just the looks on their faces when they take a bite of that, that filet that looks like it came out of a 5-star restaurant. And, when I see the smiles on their faces, it's just, there's no better feeling in the world than that for me.
I agree, man. Well, Jantzen, normally at the end we tell everybody or ask everybody if you want to tell them where they could find you, but I don't know if you want to be found. Like Instagram or something to follow along with if you're officially.
Yeah, I mean, they can follow me on Instagram. It's fine. You just type in Jantzen Clifton.
Well,
Find me.
simple. A
Pretty
simple
simple.
man. simple.
Oh, absolutely.
Simple man, dude.
Sound like my wife.
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
love it.
you are so simple, right? Doesn't take much to make me happy.
I has have you had the chance to like have people started to reach out to you to try and like write articles or anything like that or to kind of fill in with what's going on, or are they kind of waiting for the official measurement?
Uh, no, uh, just the U.S. Fish and Game reached out to me. A gentleman named Doug Hewitt, super nice guy, did a story on me in the magazine, I guess. And Field and Stream reached out, which I was super pumped about. Like Field and Stream magazine, I grew up looking at that magazine my whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go in Walmart when I was a kid and go right to the magazine section. That was the first magazine I would grab, was the Field and Stream magazine. And now they're calling me up wanting to do a story on me. And I was blown away.
That's
But
awesome.
I'm actually a little upset that they don't do the magazine anymore.
They don't? It's all
No,
online?
it's all online now. Yeah. I was going to get that
I know we're over here trying to be caveman. Now we got to go on the computer to read the
I
article.
wanted to get that magazine like freaking put up in
on the wall.
on the wall in like a case. But maybe there's some way they could print one out or something.
That would be cool.
You just made me think of another question though. So so a lot of people don't go out in the woods prepared to do what you did, right? Like it's just a normal day hunting, and surprise, here you are. Is there any extra steps that need to be taken after you shoot an animal like that for legality reasons? Like, do the game wardens want to show up and like do the checks and balances to like double check to make sure everything was legal with a potential record, or is this process just like any other deer you've shot?
No, I mean, they didn't call me up, or actually I'm friends. Well, I'm not friends, but I'm acquaintances with one of the Fish and Game in my area. And if I ever have questions or anything, then I call him up and ask him. He actually texted me and congratulated me.
Yep.
And I was prepared to take Fish and Game if they had any questions or concerns or anything, right to where I shot him and right
Mm-hmm.
to where everything went down. Because that was all like in my mind, like,
Right.
was everything legal here? First off, is
Yeah.
everything, which it was, everything's legal, which we always abide by the rules. Always. But yeah, that was still running through my mind. And but yeah, nobody reached out to me, which I would have been happy to bring them to where it all went down.
There was a buck that was shot here in Connecticut that the kid actually wrote a book. The buck I wish I never shot.
Really?
Because there was so much controversy about him poaching and shooting it on property he wasn't supposed to be on and all this crazy stuff. And it was one of those big bucks. And you hear those stories and those one-offs where a lot of negativity comes from it and whatever else. And and honestly, Jantzen, I am so thankful that didn't happen to you, because like the type of dude that you are, man, like you don't have to deal with that bullshit. Like it's nice. I can imagine.
There was some haters. They were saying that we, were poached it and we were creeping through people's backyards and all this crap. But it was,
null and void.
where are you going with that, buddy? Like, I'm gonna bring you to where I shot him. Like, come on. I didn't say anything to him, but it was funny.
You just
It was
enjoy the ride, man.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Jantzen, thanks for jumping on, dude. Once again,
Yes.
Congratulations on an amazing buck. We cannot wait to hear the end of the story. Hopefully he's at one of the shows. We can actually check him out and have a beer together and, see him in person. That would think it would be kind of cool and whatever, whenever
That'd
it's
be
at
awesome,
a
man.
show.
It was a pleasure talking to you guys tonight. Look forward to talking to you guys again. Definitely. I got your number, Trev, so I'll bother you.
Keep in touch, bro. Yeah, we love it, man. I'm in for the camaraderie.
And you too, Steve, man. It was good to meet you and talk to you too.
You too, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Well,
Absolutely.
Everybody go check out Jantzen. We'll keep you all updated throughout our social media platforms to let you know if it's official and whatever the case may be and whatever comes of it. And we'll share the articles as far as when they start to come out with, from Doug or Field and Stream or whatever, so everyone can kind of check it out. But for everybody else, thanks for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Trail.